Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's Repairs. Today I got a good one for you. You guessed it. Back on the Mustang motor. We can't get it to run right. Still missing. Just doesn't run right. Can't figure it out. So I decided to pull the timing cover off here, water pump and all that good stuff. And just see at the time, if I had the mark right. And of course I did. I'm very picky when it comes to putting stuff together. As you can see, the mark is here and here, and that's what you're supposed to do when you put in a timing set. We put a new cam in, so we narrowed it down. Well, I was hoping this was going to be off. I was hoping I was going to be off a tooth, and I messed up. But I'm human, no big deal. But unfortunately, I didn't mess up, and the timing is right here. But the engine is just not running worth a crap. So I had my buddy come down, and he checked a bunch of stuff and did electrical and this and that, hoping something would happen. Nothing. And then I had the engine builder come down. He stopped by yesterday, and he said, take the valve covers off, so I did, and we spun the motor over a little bit here and there, and he was feeling all the rocker arms. And then he got over to this side. He was feeling them, and this one, I think this one right here had a little play in it, and he didn't like it. And then he was pushing in on the push rod itself. So he didn't like it, and then he was spinning. He was spinning the springs, and he said that's somewhat normal. But seeing as how we can't get this thing to run, we're going to rip it back apart, unfortunately. And I'm going to take the heads down to his shop, and he's going to go through the heads again. We already did the heads once, but he wants to make sure that there's like a certain height that each one of these valves have to be set at. He's got some sort of a gauge. He's going to check the springs to make sure they're up to snuff, open and close, open and close. Because if they're not working right, the valve won't work right. And yeah, we're just scratching our heads here, just can't figure it out. But so yeah, I got the exhaust manifolds loose. They're just sitting there now. I got them on jack stands. I put the exhaust on jack stands, so the exhaust manifold didn't fall down too far, so it shouldn't be too bad to get it to get it bolted back up. So yeah, so I'm just figuring stuff out. So my next move is I'm going to take the intake off, and then I'm going to take all the rocker arms off and get all the push rods in a box. I'm going to mark where all the push rods go, because I think he said I should mark everything. He said the rocker arms not so much, but lifters and push rods probably should go back in the same spot. So I'm going to get a box and put everything where they need to go on the box, and then when I assemble, it'll be easier. So yeah, get the coil off of here and start working on the bolts. These two bolts got to come off, along with all the other intake bolts. So yeah, that's where we're at on this. Unfortunately, that's all part of working on an engine. You just don't know what you're going to run into. I could have pulled the motor back out, and I was kind of bumming on not pulling it back out, but I figured it was going to be a lot harder to do what I need to do here. But seeing as how I got the exhaust manifold sitting there, with the exhaust on jack stands, I'm okay with that. I know I can get the intake off, no problem. The heads are heavy, but I might, I should be able to get them off, no problem, without, hurting my back or whatever, man. You got to think about that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll get this tore apart, and I'll show you what it looks like when I get it tore apart, and we'll look at the heads. Okay, I'm gonna take the intake off. Hopefully I can just lift it off this way, because it's pretty heavy. One guy can't lift it there. Let's see. Yeah, I think I could do it. I'm just gonna lift it and set it right on this piece of wood. Hopefully. Come on. This thing's not light. Oh my gosh. Oh. That wasn't too light. Let's see if I can get out of here. This thing's got a valley pan cover. Probably will come out here pretty easy because I just put it in. Wow, I can't even believe it. I could have saved this thing, but I ended up reordering a new one. Yeah, it's about 25 bucks, I think. So yeah, you're supposed to, you can see you're supposed to silicone. It gives you silicone all around all the ports. They don't want you to silicone this. Guy told me to eliminate this. Look at that, it's broke. It was actually moving out right there. He said, the engine builder said, when I put this back together, run a bead of RTV from here to here in place of this. So I'll run about 1/4 inch, you know, and let it ooze out, and then I'll just clean up the edge and let it dry. Yeah, this thing, you can see where it pushed out. But there wasn't any vacuum leak or anything there, so let's look in here. It was this. He was I think it was this lifter he was pushing on it, and he said could be a lifter issue. This one's going in just a little bit, and all these other ones are not. They're pretty pumped up. So he thought maybe something, but he wants to look at the head. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the head bolts out, or get the rockers off first, because I can't get at the head bolts unless, yeah, I can get at, well, you got to get the rockers off first, and then I'm gonna mark where the push rods go, and then I'm gonna pluck these heads off. It's not too bad, it's just a lot of weight here, so we'll see what happens. Okay, I got the push rods out and in the box. That's kind of how you're supposed to do it. I just kind of made a template of the engine, and I'm not sure if these have to go back in the exact spot, but might as well get them back. And if I take the lifters out, I'll do the same thing. I'll put them exactly like the push rods are going to be. So I'm not sure, but that's kind of how you're supposed, how I think you should do it. But better be safe than sorry, right? So now I'm going to go ahead and get all the bolts out of both heads and pry them up a little bit so they come off, and I'm going to figure out how to get them out of here. Show you what it looks like when the heads are off. Okay, let's get these heads off. Kind of loosen up all the bolts on everything first. I already got the bottom bolts on this head loose. This is a quick way of doing it. Then I can get in there with my air ratchet or electric and get them out of here. Head bolts are torqued down to like 105, I think. Something like that. Okay, we got that. Might be able to use the electric, but it's gonna be I won't be able to do a couple of them with it. All the inside ones I won't be able to do for sure. So this will save a little time. Power's in the way on one or two of them. Not a big deal. I'll just get them ones with my ratchet. All the ones on this side are ungettable. So we gotta do them by hand. Not a big deal. They'll come out quick. They threaded in nice, so I think I can just get them out by hand now. I think. We'll see. Yeah, bummer deal. I gotta take these heads off, but got an idea on lifting them out of here. So gonna use the cherry picker because that's what I dread. Working on an engine in a car. I'd rather do it on a stand, but plucking this motor up, pain in the butt. So let's see if my idea works. Went to the hardware store and got a couple bolts. Gonna put a chain across the head and then try to pick it up with the cherry picker, the engine hoist. So we'll see what happens. See if that works or not. It should, but I just got to get it off the head, you know. If we can do that, that's going to save. I don't want to walk around with a bad back for a week because I got to take cylinder heads off a car. Picking them up on a level surface is one thing, and carrying them out to the truck, no big deal, but try to lift them off of the motor, that's just really hard. Really tough. So not concerned about the bolts too much. They're all the same size. Silver ones are on the bottom because I painted them for the exhaust. Put the bolts on some paper towel I got laying on the floor. I don't think I need to get new head bolts, but I'm actually going to ask. Seeing so I've had them in and out 3 times, maybe it's time to get head bolts, but I don't think I have to because he probably would have told me. The engine builder. So I'm going to get set up and I'll show you what I got. Okay, my idea worked. I just hooked the chain up and 2 bolts on either side of the head, and I just got it tight and it just popped right off, so I'm pretty tickled about that. Now let's see if I can lift it out of here and get it somewhere where I can set it down. Be safe. I'm not sure how it's gonna work here. Oh, sweet. Looks like it's hanging up over here on the hose. Okay. I could probably just pull it forward. Or push it forward here. Okay, alright. Don't want to do any damage. Antifreeze was in the motor, of course. It a little bit poured out on the floor. Not happy about that, but not a whole lot I can do about it. I like this though. I'll just crane it back down there, I'll get it close, and get it on the dowel pins on the motor, and we're good to go. I like this. I was thinking about it last night, going, man, I don't want to lift this head off of that motor. I just don't want to do it. So I had to figure out something else. Kind of got everything in the way here, but I should be able to get out of here. These heads, I'll bet you weigh over 100 pounds for sure. I'm not exact on the weight, but I think I can set it down right there. Put it on some wood. And then I can lift it from here out to my truck, which is behind the car. So yeah, should be able to do this, no problem. Maybe I'll spin it around a bit, roll it in a little bit, see if I can lower it here. Nope. Alright, there we go. That worked. No big deal. Piece of cake. Probably should put the bolts back on here. Oops. Yeah, thinking out of the box on this deal. Usually I'd lift it out of there, but I wasn't looking forward to it, that's for sure. I'm gonna get the other side hooked up, and we'll do that one together. Okay, let's get this one hooked up. I put the chain on the head already, save a little video time. Let's see. Putting the bolt in through the chain. Had to run to the hardware store to get some bolts to fit the head. Get the proper ones. Now I'll throw a little tension on it and see if we can get it to come up. Oh yeah, listen to that antifreeze. Love it. Nothing you can do about that. Oh man, what a mess. What a mess. Not liking that. That's what they make floor drive for. That's what I'll be doing next. Boy, am I glad I'm not lifting these out. Very glad. So, that's what we got. Just gonna set her down right there if we can. I think I'm gonna weld, as I'm using this dealy bob, I think I'm going to weld a T-handle on here. If I had a T-handle on there, it sure would be nice. I'd be able to just turn this no problem with a T-handle right here. You Yeah, that'd be just absolutely perfect. Always trying to think out of the box for something better. Do a little something better. Okay, there you go. So, gonna bring the heads down. You notice how carboned up they are. Yeah, that's crazy. Running real rich. Yeah, hopefully something's wrong with these heads. That's what I'm hoping. Otherwise, the only other thing we can think of is pull the cam, get the cam out of there, and look at that. But hopefully the heads, there's something wrong with the heads. He's, like I say, he's going to check the height on all the valves here, and then we'll go from there. And check the spring tension too. Might be replacing these springs. Maybe they're not opening and closing like they should with the spring. He's got like a little spring tension thing. So yeah, we're gonna look it all over, man. I don't want to take this motor apart again. So anyway, hope you guys like the content. Appreciate you subscribing, liking, sharing the video if you can, and we'll catch you on the next video.